Are you in favor of continuing the moratorium on the West Bank?
I believe that if we open direct negotiations with the Palestinians now, let's say in a few weeks, we will approach this issue under much kind of favorable circumstances to be solved. I don't want to make statements about it, but I can remind you that under Olmert government, there were negotiations in Annapolis.
Right.
The rate of building was much higher than before the freeze, not to mention after the freeze. When I negotiated with Arafat, it was even higher, because once you are dealing with the real issues and it's about to be decisions has to be made, it doesn't matter whether there is an adding of whatever, some residential places for people there. The whole area of all the settlements together is a tiny fraction of the land. And the settlement blocks, even under the Bush administration or the Clinton administration, were supposed to be part of Israel. We have feeling sometimes that when the Palestinian pushes it to the corner, want first of all to make the continuation of moratorium a litmus test for the Renaissance. It's bringing things ad absurdum.
Yeah, but you have
not
already
justified.
Okay, but you've already said how important it is to have these direct talks now.
Yeah.
And if it makes it more politically viable for them to engage in the talks, why don't you simply say what you've just said, which I read what you just said, to say, we're prepared to perhaps do a moratorium, but come talk before we make that announcement.
That's
why not
what
do the
exactly
moratorium and then talk?
I say that the Palestinians cannot hold the kind of hold it the two ends. When we initiated it, it was unprecedented. My government never did it. Rabin never did it. Olmert didn't do it. And they negotiated with all of us. So under Bibi, out of all people, we did unprecedented step in the moratorium. Now, they treated it as something. It's nothing. They said it's nothing. It doesn't matter. Now, they said just a few months ago it doesn't matter. Now it becomes something that the cornerstone of it doesn't. It smells somewhat tricky. That could be the tactics of someone who doesn't want really to negotiate, but to throw the onus, the responsibility for failure upon our shoulders while waiting for something better down the stream. I think that both the administration, which is essential to the American president, is essential to any successful negotiation in the Middle East. And for us and for them, it's important to start negotiating instead of, they say Netanyahu, we don't trust Netanyahu. Israelis say we don't believe that Abu Mazen can deliver, and it can end forever. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. Both sides should be ready to enter the room, start sincere, serious negotiation. We all know where it should end. We all know that painful decisions should be made from both sides. We all know that American should both put the world kind of goodwill on the table and help both sides to stay in the room until decisions are made and a change of the direction of the Middle East is achieved.